As a society, we've become very comfortable, I think, with watching people play in another person's face. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know how it is outside of my country, which is the United States, but I know in the United States, the dating shows and things like that are very saturated with people that are it has become the norm to play in a person's face. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. One of the things that I've been noticing, I mean, in it happens a lot in real life, but also I think, what they're demonstrating on television, especially with Black women, more so than anybody else on any of these dating shows. You take any one of them. Um, you have these contenders that will play in that person's face, and usually the dynamic is a man will play in a woman's face. And so let me give you an example of what's happening. What I've noticed is that there are people that are very comfortable being lustful individuals, which is fine. If you're lustful, that's your business. But what ends up happening is you have these people on these shows about marriage and commitment. So these people that are saying that, hey, I'm ready to get married, sign me up. I'm wanting to do it on a show. They're still very much in their lustful energy. And so what will happen is they'll go through all this stuff. They'll treat this woman right. They will, get her flowers. They will go meet the family, get up in front of the family and tell them about all these wonderful intentions and how they love this person, and even how they want to have a family, right? And they know that that is very important to this woman. So they will say what that woman wants to hear, and they will get up there and they will pretend, they will put on an Oscar worthy performance and do all the motions with the family and things like that. And then what do you know? Some big scandal happens. Either they're finding out that this person is living a double life through their phone. There's somebody that on the internet that sees it and says, "Oh, wait, we're engaged to be, girl, don't do it." Something to that matter, or even worse, or maybe even more common, I should say, is you find out that that man who's going through the motions with you and is choosing you publicly might be sleeping around with your castmates on one of these shows and carrying on a totally different relationship. And shortly after you've introduced this person to the world and said, "Hey, this is my person. We're in a commitment." You are embarrassed to no end after that, until you find out essentially what you've been living on this show, what you've been told is a lie, and this happens in real life too. But I think we've been very comfortable sort of normalizing that behavior on television. It almost seems like, if you sign up to go on one of these shows, it's a guaranteed rite of passage. And it does a lot of psychological harm. All in the name of ratings. It does harm. It also, for what it's worth, I think television is also a huge influence on the viewers as well. So I think, children, teenagers, people who sort of watch this stuff and consume this stuff, they are influenced by it. And it becomes a norm to a certain extent to say, well, cheating is to be expected and blah, blah, blah. So it's become very normalized, and to see people publicly humiliated on television and even in life, where this person will promise you the world and do all the things and put on a good little character act, future fake to no end, only to boom, watch it blow up on you. So let me know what you guys think. I do think just to counter that, I don't want to, be negative. but I just want to bring awareness to it. There is true love. There is great examples of love out there in the world. I don't think that it gets its fair shake in terms of representation, but I do think that there are examples of like people who are actually honest and have integrity and see their relationship through to fruition. So let me know what you guys think. Like, share, comment, and follow. And, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter if you want to be kept abreast of things that are going on in the future with me. Thanks so much. You guys take care.